Hi, this is Jessica Kim, trainer with CCS Mid-Atlantic. Today I'm going to go over some of the functions of the Magic Pen, which is usually one of the favorite tools of a lot of teachers. So today we're going to talk about its functionalities. There's three functions that it has. The first one is to spotlight. To get the Magic Pen, what you're going to want to do is go over to your pens, and then you're going to select that drop down from your pen types and select Magic Pen. To get a spotlight feature, what you want to do is you want to draw a circle or an oval. And when you do that, you will get a spotlight feature. You can actually move the spotlight around and so forth. And to delete the spotlight, just hit the X. The second function that the Magic Pen does is it will magnify things. So to get a magnify, to magnify an object, you will want to draw a square or a rectangle around the object that you are trying to magnify. And there you go. You can shrink it down a little bit, and you can exit out as well. Now, to show you how you would use a spotlight or the magnify function in a classroom and how it would apply, I have a couple examples for you. So one example is if you're talking about nonfiction text features, because we know that in the Common Core standards, informational text is a big thing for schools. You might have them use a Magic Pen to spotlight the image if you're talking about nonfiction text features. So draw a circle around Abe Lincoln here, and so forth. You can also have them put a box around certain sentences to magnify those sentences if you're talking about the main idea, and so forth. Another way that you can use the spotlight or the magnify feature, either one, they're pretty interchangeable, is you can use something like this. What I did is I used the random number generator, and you can set the range here. And then you're going to select the center of it. And it's going to give you a random number. To get that number out, you are going to select the arrow, move it out. I'm going to do this a couple more times. And I'll show you what type of activity you can do with this. Once you have several numbers across the board, what you could do to get your students interacting with it is you can say, let's say if you're doing an activity about multiples. If you're saying, all right, give me a number that is a multiple of 4. They can come up, either spotlight or magnify that number, and so forth. And now you have an interactive way for your students to work with the smartboard. Then you can say, all right, give me a multiple of 3. They can draw a box around it. Oh, didn't quite give me the box because my box was not so great. So give it a second, it'll disappear, because that's the third function. There it goes. Oh, for some reason, I'm not doing a great job of drawing. Alright, if you're trying to apply the Magic Pen in social studies, what you can do is if you're talking about geography, you can have a blank map of the U.S., call out a different state, have your students select the Magic Pen, and call out the state, say, I want you to find Virginia. They can come up to the map, circle it. Again, sorry, I did not do a great job with that. Oh, with a Magic Pen, because it fades, it will not disappear. Let's try that again. Virginia is right here, even though I didn't circle all of it. Alright, and so forth. In science, if you're talking about parts of a cell, you can call out a part of the cell and have them either spotlight or magnify it. So those are a couple of different functions. Going back, so we talked about spotlight and magnify. The other function of the Magic Pen is that it has something called disappearing ink or fading ink, either one. When you write with a Magic Pen, you will notice, as you probably saw when I was making a few errors, that it fades after about 6 to 10 seconds. Alright, now we have the little pull tab, so let's pull on that and see your notes. It says when you write with a Magic Pen, sometimes you will get a spotlight feature when trying to write certain letters and or numbers. You can customize one of your pens to become the fading ink. So, to show you exactly what I'm talking about, let's see this problem. 1 plus blank gives you 11. Well, the answer is 10. See, it recognized that 0 and the number 10 as a spotlight, and we don't want that to happen. So the way that we can go around doing that is actually tricking the smartboard. What you want to do is select your pens and go back to your pen types, and we're going to go to our normal pen. Alright, now I usually like to have my last one here as my fading ink one, and that just always reminds me. I'm going to select this pen here, and I'm going to go to my Properties tab. I'm going to select whatever color I want my fading ink to be. Okay, remember it fades, so it doesn't really matter. You can choose the thickness of the line and so forth. And then you're going to go to Fill Effects. When you go over here to Fill Effects, you're going to check this box, and it's already checked because I have it saved. It's going to enable ink to fade after you write. And you can also choose how long that ink will stay on the page, anywhere from 2 to 12 seconds. So let's choose 8 seconds for the time being. And then you're going to hit Save Tool Properties. Now, selecting that last pen here, I'm going to write, and you'll see that it didn't give me the spotlight feature, and instead it should fade. There you go. So now this is your permanent fading ink pen. So those are a couple tips on how to use the Magic Pen. If you want more tips and tricks, be sure to check out our website often for some other tutorials.